Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in social media or TV land. Welcome to Taboo Talk with Ray and Steve, part of the OBBM network. I'm Ray Amanat, based out of sunny Port Richey, Florida, and joining me is my co host, Mr. Steve Reed, somewhere in a undisclosed safe house, outhouse, doghouse, depending on where he's at with his relationship with
Doghouse
his
is right.
wife.
Yeah, doghouse is right. I stay in the doghouse. So, hey Ray, how you
Good.
doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
If I was doing any gooder, I'd be quadruplets at least.
Oh, okay. I've got a song I want to sing to you. Everyone knows this song, and this kind of goes on the topic for today. It's Old MacDonald had a farm.
Yeah,
E-I-E-I. Actually, that's
right,
not the song.
right, right. Yeah, stick to martial arts and talk show stuff.
So you see the background that I've got behind me
Yeah,
where it talks about being censored, rejected, and banned.
yep, yeah,
Well, the person that we're going to talk about today is Mr. Tom MacDonald. And we've talked about him before in our previous shows, but we're going to go a little bit more in depth as to what his message is, who he is, and what kind of an impact he's making with audiences as a music entertainer through social media. I had a good friend of mine, Nate, that introduced me to it. He's an over the road trucker, and he's like, Mr. Ramana, check this video out. And I, I immediately after I saw the videos that he posted, I forwarded them to you, and your reaction to those videos initially were what?
well, Ray, let me give you a disclaimer. I am a right-wing, very conservative 66-year-old Christian. And I don't follow rap music at all. At all.
You do
And
now.
yeah, yeah, I do now. I follow one rapper and that's it. But the first image that I saw of Tom MacDonald was like, Ryan, what is wrong with you? Why would you be sending me this rap music? That is, how is this relevant to my life in any way, shape, or form?
And I just said,
Watch
just
it.
play it, just watch it, just
Yeah,
listen to the lyrics, to the
yeah.
words.
Well, and
And
my first impression was Tom MacDonald's kind of scary. I mean, just the appearance. Okay, so you cannot judge a book by its cover. And I started listening to it and thinking, oh my gosh, this guy's genius. It really is. And the more I listened, the more I wanted to listen more. And because he is saying things, talking about being censored and rejected and banned and so forth, and he is so anti-establishment, it's refreshing to me at least.
so we've been doing a lot of research on him, and we would love, Tom, if you ever watch our show Taboo Talk, because we've invited you. We would love to have you on our show. I know we're small potatoes right now, but we're trying to get as big as Tom himself in the blogosphere of things. But we would love to pick your brain, Mr. McDonald, and listen to your vision. But we've got a lot of different videos that we'd like to share with our viewers. I know if you're listening to an audio blog, you might not be able to see everything, but you'll be able to get the gist of the
Yeah.
interviews and hear everything that he talks about through his music. If you're watching us, please leave a comment, engage us, ask
Absolutely.
questions. We wanna know what your thoughts are on what we present today.
Well, Ray, before we go any farther, we've got to give a couple of disclaimers. Number one is the things that we are talking about. This is an opinion-based show, and it's our opinions. Now they have to be happen to be factual. And if somebody wants to challenge us, come on, bring it on. we'll be happy to discuss with you. So that's number one. Number two, and it doesn't necessarily reflect our sponsors and affiliates and anybody else. Okay, this is our opinions, but also everything that we're going to be showing today, we have gotten off of the internet, and this is not a for sale or a for profit broadcast. So we're not making any money off of anything that we share with Tom MacDonald. At some point, I will be sharing how you can engage with Tom MacDonald through his YouTube pages and some of the other things that he has that are published. But
If you want to download his music, you can download
if
his
you want to
music.
download his music, he has recently released 2 albums. We're going to touch on that as we go through the program today. But I want to share, as I was doing some of my research, I came across this interview that he had recently with Newsmax and 2 of their anchors. So, Ray, I want to share just like a minute of that interview. So,
Sure.
hold on.
Humans been controlled since the day that they were civilized. The truth has been so heavily politicized. If you don't know who's controlling you and killing all the little guys, find out who you're not allowed to criticize.
That's a clip from rapper Tom MacDonald. His new song, Sheeple, is now trending on YouTube as the 7th most watched music video. That's right. Right now, an anti-woke rap song is trending while calling out the political establishment. But you won't see this music video on mainstream television, of course. You won't hear the song on the radio. If you haven't heard of him before, that's likely why. But it's important to point out that people are listening, Mercy.
Yes, they are, Jen. And that scares the living daylights out of the establishment and their complicit allies. The establishment wants you to listen to musical acts that help push their agenda. They fear free-thinking truth-tellers like Tom MacDonald, and he's not afraid to call them out for it.
I think it's crazy I'm the one who they labeled as controversial, and Cardi B is the role model for 12-year-old girls. There's rappers pushing Xanax at the top of the billboard, but if I mention race in a song, I'm scared I'll get killed for it. It's backwards, it's getting exponentially dumb. It's more difficult to get a job than purchase a gun. Eminem used to gay bash and murder his mom, and now he doesn't want fans if they voted for Trump.
Okay, I'm going to have to learn that rap, Jen. But let's welcome rapper, songwriter, and former professional wrestler Tom MacDonald to the show. Welcome.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Wonderful.
Great to have you.
Yeah, we were trying to dance to your music. I don't know if we were
glad they didn't. The control room didn't cut to that. It wouldn't have been pretty.
Let me ask you. It's great to have you on. But most of these rap songs that so many of our kids listen to, they're about partying, sex, taking drugs, or violence. I mean, what inspired you to get political?
Well, sort of when I got my first start rapping and getting into the music industry, I was kind of doing the same thing as everybody else. I was sort of emulating the stuff that I was listening to. So I was making music about all that same stuff, parties and girls and money and cars and all that type of stuff. But I sort of had like I had a problem with alcohol. I was living the stuff I was writing about. I was partying all the time. I was drinking really heavy. And essentially that led to a really acute mental breakdown about 5 years ago. And that I stopped making music for almost 2 years. And that was a real, come to Jesus moment for me, where I had to figure out what I was made of. And
That is a small portion of the new Newsmax interview. It's about a 10-minute interview. And
if you want to see it.
Absolutely. So you know what I'll do, Ray? Right now, I'm going to put his YouTube link on the ticker, so you can take a screenshot of his.
Well, let's say it
his
also
YouTube
for the
page.
people that are just listening to us and they don't
Ray,
have
go
the
right ahead and
video.
say it. Go ahead and say
It's
it.
Tom MacDonald's YouTube page is https youtube.com/@Tom MacDonald official.
And that's the @ sign.
And that's me without my glasses. So
And you were spot on. You were perfect with that. So, and we'll play that several times throughout the broadcast today. But the first time I started listening to this stuff, I looked at it now, having been a musician for 40 plus years. I dissected the things that he was doing. Not not from the style or anything of that sort, but from the content of what he was sharing. And to learn his backstory, that what they were saying or what he was saying was that he was in that culture for years, and he's a former wrestler.
That's
And
that's one thing I did not know about him, is he was a former pro wrestler, which is
yeah,
where a lot of the imagery that he comes up with, I think, is
yeah,
tied into that type of
yeah,
entertainment
yeah,
that he did as a professional wrestler. So
yeah.
that makes a lot more sense to me now.
Well, but you think about the lifestyle that he was living as a rapper and as a wrestler. I mean, it's all about drugs, alcohol, women, sex. It's, I mean, the whole, I mean, all of the debauchery stuff. And he made the comment, I don't know anything about his faith, but he made the comment, I had a come to Jesus moment. And
Right.
so, you have to wonder if there was a conversion of sorts that he had that really radically changed his mindset and his who he is.
Well, a lot of people, and I'm one of those, that hits rock bottom at one stage in your life,
Yep.
and you desperately, I was a teenage alcoholic, and I stopped drinking when I turned 21.
Yep.
Um, that's how bad, I mean, I drank a lot heavy in my high school days. But it was my rock bottom that I hit to
Yep.
stop and regain my life and pursue the dreams that I had, and I was just getting in my own way, which I'm sure that's something that he'd probably say as well.
Yeah. Well, let's continue on, but before we do, Ray, why don't you share some things about what you are doing with Heroes in Action and some of the incredible things that you are doing with the organization and how you are changing people's lives. So I want to share a real quick video, and then we're going to talk about a big event that you've got coming up in a few months.
Hi, welcome to Heroes in Action. I'm Ray Amanat, founder and creator of this training system. I originally made it so that everyone can train for free. We have programs for kids, for women, families, and businesses. I'm an author, speaker, and educator on everything that has to do with violence and bullying prevention education. If you'd like more information about who we are and what our programs are, please go to our website at heroesinaction.us or give me a call if you have any questions at 727-314-2534. We hope to see you here to train.
Right, that's a fabulous program. I'm going to share one other real quick thing, and then I want to ask you a couple of questions about how you get paid. Now, my
Okay, sure.
understanding, based on what you just shared in the video, is you want to do all of your training for free. Is that right?
Everything that we do, I've got families that come into our training center out here in Port Richey, and I don't charge them a dime. Now that doesn't help me out as far as our overhead expenses because I'm renting a space
Yeah.
from a racket club that's costing me a good amount of money, and right now everything is coming out of my pocket to cover all of those expenses. On top of my time for teaching, I'm doing a presentation at a high school this Friday. It's a pilot program introducing our self-defense strategies to the kids, and if they like it, then I'll do an ongoing program. But everything we're doing is based off of donations. Our goal is to get at least 1,000 donors initially that are recurring for $5 a month, and that'll help stop the bleeding as far as me constantly paying out of pocket or from my savings account to keep this going. Once we get to 4,000 donors of recurring donations of at least $5 a month, the cost of a cup of coffee, That enables us to do everything for free, give out our books instead of trying to sell my Mushy the Martian books or Bully Victim or Hero books. I never want to charge anyone a dime. There are people that are out there that they can't afford going to a karate school or self-defense academy because the cost is high, anywhere between $80 to $150 a month. And there's people that are struggling now with the economy, but and crime on the rise. I want to provide our services. If it's a seminar, that gives you a foundation. If you live in Port Richey or anywhere in Florida and you can travel to us and get additional training, that's all free. But the seminars are to give people that foundation to at least have a plan of action and a strategy to deal with physical violence.
Okay, now Ray, I understand you just started doing martial arts training and self-defense training. Was it about 6 months ago, 10 months ago, something like that?
No, I've been training and researching for over 40 years.
Wow. Wow. You don't look that old. Actually, you look a lot older than that. Hey, so in other words, people can take a picture of this QR code or they can go to your website and they can donate through your website at $5 a month. But if somebody wanted to give you $100 a month, you would take it as well.
$100, $5,000, anything it covers the cost of our books, our T-shirts, our handouts, our superhero capes. We want to do more with children's hospitals, and I don't want to charge a dime. I want everything to be funded, so we can provide everything for free.
But here's another opportunity people have, and that is you have a cruise coming up next year. Talk to us real quickly about the cruise.
It's a fundraising cruise with Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines that leaves out of Tampa and goes to Cozumel June 8th through the 12th. So it's 5 days, 4 nights. And we are excited. As you can see, we've already reserved balcony cabins and window cabins. And you'll get a lot of swag. You get 6 hours of training. If you don't want to do the training with us, take the cruise anyway and make it help us out with our fundraising. And then just go on vacation with us. You do need to do a $100 deposit to reserve your spot. Cabins start at $707. I think those are for the windows. Final payment is due by March 1st. And this is my first cruise. I've never been on a cruise. So I'm excited to go on a journey, and it's called Survive and Thrive Adventures. We're taking an adventure through a cruise. You're going to learn how to develop that plan of action, have an exit strategy. Things that I've done with you, Steve, is how to block and strike and how to escape from most common holds. And then some. So there's a lot that you're going to learn throughout the whole training on the cruise.
Very cool. Ray, thank you. That sounds like that's going to be an exciting time for a lot of people. So, folks, go to Ray's website and book your cruise today. He's got more information on his website. So we don't want you to miss this opportunity. So let's continue on. And, one of the other video clips that I was able to find as I was looking for more information about Tom MacDonald was I found a little interview with somebody. Some people may have heard of this guy. So hold on to your chairs for just a second.
Tom MacDonald is a Canadian hip-hop artist and producer currently based in the United States. He initially went viral with his song Dear Rappers in 2017. Since then, he has independently produced, released, and amassed enough body of work to have 350 million views on his YouTube channel alone. Millions of monthly listeners on Spotify, and tallied hundreds of thousands of physical album sales. Most recently, Tom released Fake Woke, his 4th #1 single in the U.S. on iTunes charts. And it is now over, 3.5 million views now. Tom, welcome to the program.
Mr. Glenn Beck, thanks for having me, man.
You bet. So, Tom, and this may come as a surprise to you. I'm not really down in the rap scene all that often. But when my circle of friends start sending me videos over the weekend, as they did, and said, you've got to watch this and listen to it, it says something about your impact on culture. I want to play just a little bit of your song here so we can talk about it and people know what we're talking about.
So it sounds like Glenn Beck had a similar story
epiphany
as both you and I did when
absolutely.
Nate originally shared that the videos with me.
Yeah.
That's the type of impact that Tom MacDonald has.
Yeah.
Is his message is if you're a like-minded thinker, you're going to want to listen to his.
Ray, you just froze on me.
All the time. I don't know if we have a bad connection. There we go.
Yeah.
You want to share? I think a snippet of one of his songs.
Yeah, I'm gonna play just a few seconds of his song called "The System." And again, folks, you can go to his YouTube page at Tom MacDonald Official. It's on YouTube, and you can listen to the entire song there as well as some of the other things. So here's a taste of some of the things from The System.
Welcome to the world, baby boy. I'll paint you red and white and blue. The indoctrination starts as soon as you come out the womb. Pretty quick, we'll make you stupid with curriculums at school. And if the classroom doesn't do the trick, we'll make you watch the news. Pick your team, right or left, take the red pill or the blue. You can vote, but even if you win, still everyone will lose. Don't forget to buy designer because Gucci makes you cool. We prioritize material belongings over truth. Get a job that you can't stand so you can buy some cans of food. Go overseas and die for freedom. There's some oil we could use. Our democracy exists so that you think that you can choose. But our algorithms make you do what we want you to do. What's the problem? Your depressed society has you confused. We got medication for you that you'll probably abuse. Go get married to a lady who also don't have a clue, and pump out a few babies that are just the same as you. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to.
I wanted to just keep going.
I know. And we don't have time.
I know.
But Ray, the first time I heard that, I mean, it was eye-opening because it's the stuff that I believe. Because we are surrounded by the system in so many different ways. You look at the establishment culture and how they are censoring so many people. If you buck the system, you're gone. You're censored.
Right. And that's, Tom has been censored by the music industry, that they don't want to record any of his material. So he said, you know what? Screw you. I'm going to do this myself. And he's got more #1 songs and more followers through his YouTube page than any other. I mean, he's more popular or as popular as some of your mainstream entertainers that are out there right now.
Yeah, exactly. And getting more and more popular all the time. Now, the interview that Glenn Beck was doing with him was from about a year ago, and when he had just released his I forget what the title of it is, something about woke, and you look at what is happening now and the impact that he's having today is absolutely incredible. So, Ray, what do you think about when you hear the words "the system"? What's your thought?
Well, I mean, the system could be anything that regulates your area of expertise, like a lawyer has to go through the bar. Doctors, they have to go through the medical organizations to get their license, state license. Of course, the government is the system. We have to go and get a driver's license. So there's a lot of things that kind of checks and balances that keep us under some form of
Exactly.
control, but can the system sometimes be overreaching and
Yeah,
uh,
absolutely.
a little bit too controlling?
Yeah,
And I would
absolutely.
love to hear from our viewers. If you guys want to, just go to our Facebook page and you can type in questions or comments on our Facebook page, Taboo Talk with Ray and Steve.
There you go. When I think about the system, we are surrounded by systems. It's not just the government; it's the woke culture that is trying to silence people. It's the music industry in his particular case. It's the legal industry. It is a system that's in place, and if you don't abide by their rules, that's just the way it is. But you look at all of the different systems that are around us, and Tom MacDonald is bucking the system in so many different ways. And it's really refreshing, even though it's hip hop, it is really refreshing to hear his message. So I say more power to you, buddy. Just keep going, keep plugging away.
And I think you need to talk about another system right now, and
Yeah.
that's our nervous system,
Yep.
where if your body has aches and pains and you don't know where they're stemming from,
Oh,
um,
play on words. Well, Ray, let me share a real quick video for you.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Introducing LifeWave X39, the world's first product ever to activate stem cells. A true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state in a way no other product can. No drugs, no injections, no kidding.
Ray, it's kind of interesting. The founder of the company, David Schmidt, he's the founder of the product, the inventor, the genius behind it. He could have taken this amazing product. It's this little wafer thin patch that activates a copper peptide in your system, which tells your stem cells to go back to work and start working again. He could have taken this technology to the pharmaceutical industry, but he chose not to, and because
he
that is
was
part of
avoiding the system.
exactly, which is very corrupt in so many different ways. And so he has gone around the system. The company is a multi-million dollar direct sales company. There are people that are making a lot of money helping other people get out of pain, get better sleep, more energy, better focus, faster recovery from exercise, more stamina. There are so many benefits from this one simple little patch. You wear it for 12 hours, take it off, put another one on the next day, wear it for 12 hours, etc. And it is literally changing people's lives. I want to share one real quick story. Now, we don't make any claims, any medical claims. We don't cure anything. But a personal friend of mine had blood work done about a year and a half ago, and she was very concerned because the doctors said your kidney levels were elevated. Now, she was concerned because her late husband died as a result of complications from that D word that people have when they have too much sugar in their blood. Okay? I'll just leave it at that. Well, so she was concerned about that. He was actually on dialysis. So she was concerned. She started using these patches a little over a year ago, about a year and a half ago. She had blood work done just a few weeks ago, and the doctor came back and said, your numbers are normal. And she hasn't done anything different. She hasn't changed her diet, no medication. All she's been doing is wearing these patches.
Right.
And as a result, it is reversing the aging process. So if you've got some issues, pain, discomfort, inflammation, whatever the case is, reach out and I would be more than happy to share some additional information with you about how LifeWave can help you get past all of these different challenges. Here's my website, my email address. You're welcome to send me a real quick email. I'm happy to share some information with you. So, Ray, let's get back to.
So you were saying if I've got some issues, well,
Yes.
it really sounds like Tom MacDonald has some issues, and people are relating to his issues that he's bringing up through his music.
It's different kinds of issues, Ray. So let's talk about some of the other issues. And I want to share another real quick video clip. It's a portion of the song. Again, you can go to his website at Tom MacDonald Official on YouTube and look it up. And this video is titled Sheeple.
Humans been controlled since the day that they were civilized. The truth has been so heavily politicized. If you don't know who's controlling you and killing all the little guys, find out who you're not allowed to criticize. Black folks who were never ever actual slaves, fighting with white folks who ain't actual Nazis. Controlled by rich folks who use the news to make hate, while elite folks control other political parties. It's a big lie, trying to make you pick sides, trying to make you burn the cities down and kill each other. They got sick minds, big lies, deep on the police so that there's big crime. To take away our freedom, to restore order they let die. Play with people, turn men into women, make the counterculture mainstream to mix up the system. Change the pronouns, if gender is a spectrum, so is privilege. I know poor white folks and black celebrities with millions. They starve you with a lack of information and only give you facts through a branded corporation. Distort your worldview with an algorithm that changes based on propaganda curated for your engagement. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Glued to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? Oh, my sheep. Nothing's what it seems. Hollywood been right in your brain, controlling your mouth. You say lit, fleek, bet, cap, they trying to dumb you down. They endorse whatever narrative is popular to shout and use minorities in movies for diversity clout. Two sides on the spectrum, but ain't none of them honest. Took the red pill and the blue pill, spit them both in the garbage. Being woke used to...
I could listen to that for another 2 minutes. Anyway,
Well, at least until it ends, and then you just
I know,
hit replay.
I know. So folks, I'm going to put it back up here again. Ray, what do you think of when you hear the word sheeple? What comes to mind?
Well, I mean, throughout schools and now also in my adult life, one of the things that I've really noticed is all the cliques,
Yep.
all the different groups,
Exactly.
and all the different divides that are there. If you don't fit in one group, then you're going to try to get into another group, and then the people that don't fit in, which is me, you just try to blend in and become a sheeple. You just imitate or mimic what everyone else does, and you're a follower. You're not a leader. You're not somebody that is a free thinker, a critical thinker, or a problem solver.
Exactly.
You're just a follower that's just going to go with everyone else because everything is about a popularity contest, and I want to roll with the popular kids. No, I don't give a damn about the popular people or who they are. You're either going to like me or you're going to hate me, and that's pretty much what Tom MacDonald is. You're either going to like him or you're going to hate him, but he's not trying to get in with the popular crowd. He's not trying to get in with the other music entertainers. He's just carving a path for himself.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's interesting. I was listening to a broadcast from Dan Bongino. It was within the past 2 or 3 days. And one of the things that Dan Bongino was saying is that the system is all about dividing Americans.
Well, that's the divide and conquer.
Yeah, but stop and think. When you do the divide and conquer, that means you're not strong together. So what he's doing, what he was saying was that that the system is pitting blacks against whites, is pitting Asians or Hispanics against everybody else, drug addicts against people that are straight. All of those different things. Liberals, conservatives,
Well, right now
everything.
it's victims against
Yes,
the
yes,
people that committed
yes.
the crime.
Exactly. How woke are you going to be? Well, if you're not woke enough, then we're going to cancel you. And then you've got people that are saying, go ahead and try and cancel me. You're not going to cancel me. And I think that's what Tom MacDonald has as his message also. You can't cancel him. And if you don't like his message and YouTube says we don't want your message anymore, he's got other venues, other places where you can go where you can get his information. So, but the system is trying to divide us on a day-to-day basis because they know if we are not united together, then we're not going to be able to win in this whole thing.
And to our viewing audience or our listening audience, that's exactly why we kind of got picked up or signed up with the OBBM network,
Yes.
is because, yes, we're on Facebook, but Facebook can take us off at any time. Yes, we're on YouTube, but YouTube can take us off at any time, or any of the other platforms. With OBBM, we're going to be on literally 15 to 20 plus platforms.
Yeah.
So that if we get rejected or banned or censored, if you guys want to still hear our message and get the education and get the facts that we talk about, you can follow us wherever we're at. And we would love to, we'll be sharing more about all the other platforms that we'll be on through the OBBM network.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
yes,
we're
we're
having
doing
some fun.
exactly what Tom MacDonald has done. It's get on as many platforms as you can so you can't get censored.
So Ray, who else are the sheeple? I've got some ideas.
Okay.
2 years ago, we had a gift from Asia, and I'll just leave it at that. And
look at what's happening in China right now.
Well, I don't even want to go there. But you stop and think about it. What happened? There was a guy in Washington with the National Institute of Health, and he told everybody, you don't need to wear a mask. And then all of a sudden, he flipped a switch. He says, you need to wear a mask. And then everybody overnight was forced to start wearing masks. And then somebody said, well, we need to get a vaccine. Well, it's going to take 7 to 10 years to get a vaccine. And all of a sudden, we've got a vaccine. And now if you don't take the vaccine, then you got problems. You are banned. You are divided. There are families. I'll give you a case in point. So several years ago, 2 years ago, my mom passed away. And I went back to the East Coast to help start going through some of the things in her home. And there was a sign that was on the front door of my mother's house, the house that I grew up in. It says, you have to wear a mask. You can't enter this house unless you wear a mask. The person that put that on the door was a sheeple. And I said, screw you, I'm not wearing a mask. Well, you have to wear a mask. No, I don't. This is just as much my house as it is everybody else's. And so that was what we were dealing with. But that's the sheeple. And you look at these people that have taken the injection voluntarily, have taken the injection, and we're having all kinds of issues as a result of that. They became sheeple. And we're starting to see all kinds of
the
medical
sheeple
issues.
are the little tattletales or stitches that, oh, you're going against the man, you're going against the government, you're going against this, and they're the ones that are trying to be the so-called enforcers.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're not the free thinkers.
Yeah.
You can try to reason with them, you can try to rationalize with them, but they've already made up their minds as to what's right and what's wrong. And they're not ready to listen to other facts that could disprove why they're wrong.
Yeah. Ray, I want to play another real short portion of an announcement. Tom MacDonald released 2 albums within the past 2 or 3 weeks, and he's got a real quick explanation of what he did. So listen in for just
My 2 new albums, Renegade and The Revolution, just dropped, and the only place in the world you can get them is hangovergang.com. I can't even believe I'm saying that because it almost killed me, and I'm going to tell you all about it. But first, let me just say this is not an album and a mixtape. For the first time ever, this is 2 albums. 2 full albums at the same time, 34 songs. This took me to the edge, to be completely and brutally honest. I almost gave up altogether. And this is the absolute last time that I ever dropped 2 projects at once. These 2 new albums took more out of me than I will ever possibly be able to get back. Every album that I work on comes with an incredible amount of pressure. Pressure to live up to the last album, pressure to live up to people's expectations, pressure to exceed my own, pressure to just be better. And after my Us Against the World album last year and massive songs like Fake Woke and Snowflakes and Dear Slim, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do it. I had reached the very peak of the independent musician mountain. And when there's nobody else to compete with, how do you begin to compete with yourself?
Wow.
That's just a small portion of the announcement where he's releasing the 2 videos. So again, go to Tom's YouTube page and watch the information. It's very, very powerful, and you'll get new insights into who he is and his passion for these projects.
No, that is, and just for those of you that are just on an audio blog and not the video blog, watching the videos, you could see where he gets his, what's the word I'm looking for? His ideas, his visions from, because he's got a big red cross behind him. He's got just a lot of the images that he had behind him in the room that he was at. You could see the props or whatever that he uses. That's what drives him. I look at my apartment or even my workspace, and I look at the drawings or paintings or the books that I have laying around that inspires me, that motivates me, that helps me be the person that I am. And yes, hey, one of those books is yours. Actually, 3 of those books are yours, Steve. Lessons from Crutches.
Yeah.
But it's just listening to him talk. He's just so passionate about what he's doing, and he doesn't want to fail himself. And that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself.
Yeah. With you saying that one video that I played the short clip on called The Sheeple, he has a YouTube video that he is describing how he produced that. And
these are movie production type
yes,
videos.
yeah, and I mean, high quality, but some of the scary things that he did in order to produce that video, it is powerful. And man, it's kind of scary what he actually did in order to do the production value that he had. It's all high quality.
He does his own stunts.
Yeah, I know. That's like,
he has to.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But I mean, there was one thing in that one video, or the description of what it took, where he's talking about climbing up basically a scaffolding or a ladder that is old and rusty, and he's afraid the whole thing is going to fall down. And he's 30, 40, no, he's like 100 feet in the air. And one of his partners in the project was using a drone to videotape the whole thing. And he's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm done. Okay. I don't want to do this anymore. It's like, nah, I'll stay on the ground. So
yeah.
I'm happy with that. So
green screens can do lots of wonderful things that
yeah,
keep
they
you
can.
safe.
But that was one where he actually physically climbed that ladder to get on top of that old tanker, or on that old oil well, or not a well, but a oil container, I guess it was. But scary stuff, but powerful stuff. So you can tell that he's looking for excellence in everything that he's doing. So anyway, Ray, thank you for introducing me to Tom MacDonald. And I just saw a couple of comments. One says that Tom's music is addictive,
It is.
and
It's very.
I would tend to agree. Tom's stuff is addictive. There's no question. So anyway, right, we're starting to run out of time. Any closing thoughts on the system and being rejected and banned and censored?
Well, if we can all follow in Tom's footsteps and not be a sheeple, but be independent thinkers,
Yeah.
problem solvers, do your research. It's when I do my lectures and my seminars, I always say trust but verify. I'll trust anyone that comes in front of me, but if they're going to ask me to do something for them, I have to verify who they are
Yep.
and if they're genuine, as far as what our relationship is going to be like. So, trust but verify. Don't be a sheeple.
Yeah.
Be a leader, not a follower. And if you're being censored, then come up with new ways to get the success that you're looking for in your life. Don't let other
Exactly.
people dictate what you want to do with your life,
Exactly.
unless it's illegal. Then yeah,
Well, Ray, I hope you understand. You do know what it is to be illegal, don't you? It's actually a sick bird.
a what?
Sick bird. Ill eagle.
Oh.
So just make sure you're not doing things unlawful. So,
Ladies
hey,
and
Ray,
gentlemen, puns by Steve Reed.
and speaking of pun, no, this isn't a pun. Ray, I want to show you. I'm really excited. We talked about this briefly last week. It is available right now. Introducing my latest book. It's called Lessons. I'm sorry. It's called Lazarus: A Journey of Hope and Grace. And it is the story of Lazarus from the perspective of Jesus' half brother James. And it is available in ebook format right now. I'm working on some additional components to it, and then I'll have it as a paperback as well. But if you want to get information, if you want to buy the book, scan the QR code or go to my website, which is StephenReedMinistries.com. StephenReedMinistries.com, and you can pick up the book for only $3.99.
So, real quick, we were at a network group Monday,
Yes, sir.
and you were kind of describing in a way, prepping the book.
Yeah.
Can you do that again real quick?
Oh,
Do you remember what
absolutely.
you said?
Well, okay. So before I do, I want to share one other
Because
screen with
it
you.
ties in a little bit to what Tom MacDonald is doing.
Okay. So it is an offshoot or kind of a sequel to my first book, which is called My Half Brother: A Journey of Hope and Grace Through the Eyes of James. And I came up with that book. I wrote the book back in 2014, major edits, re-released in 2017. It's the story of Christ from the perspective of his half brother James. And when I finished that book and I was sending it off to the printer, then I started coming up, the creative juices were still flowing. And that's when I started writing the book Lazarus: A Journey of Hope and Grace. And I'm going to take you back in time a couple thousand years. And I want you to think for a brief moment that, let's say I am Jesus' half brother James, and this guy, he's kind of a gruff Jewish guy, kind of an earthy guy, mean, snarly, just kind of like in your face. And Jesus is sitting there on a rock, and he's talking to people. Yeah, kind of like you. He's talking to people, and he's sharing some truths. And all of a sudden, this leper comes over, and everybody parts, and Jesus heals the leper right in front of everybody else, and then somebody else has a broken arm, or somebody has convulsions, or what, all these, and Jesus keeps healing these people one after another. And this gruff guy Lazarus starts arguing with Jesus, and kind of he's trying to pick a fight. Who are you? What are you doing here? You're causing a commotion here. And Jesus doesn't answer. And finally he comes back and responds, and he says, "My name is Friend, and I'm going to have dinner with you and your sisters tonight." Now, only the Son of God could know that Lazarus had two sisters because he had never met them before. And so that's how the journey started. So I tell some stories. Now, it is a novel, okay, but it's based on scripture. And I have a lot of fun. And I just we don't have the date established yet, but there's an organization here in North Dallas that I was talking with the woman who's in charge of the organization, and I'll be speaking for the organization in costume as James, telling stories about Lazarus coming up after the first of the year. So,
And I
yeah.
just had another thought for the two of us. We need
Uh-oh.
to have a Taboo Talk book signing tour
I agree
with
with that.
you and your books, and then me and my Mushy the Martian books,
Yep,
and Bully Victim or Hero. We just need to do a book signing tour
absolutely.
with Taboo Talk, Ray and Steve.
And I'm gonna put across the scroll for just a real quick moment here. If somebody wants to reach out to us, they can. Let me see if I can find it. I know it's in here somewhere. It's in here somewhere. I know it is. I've got it in here. I know
And
it's in
while
here.
you're looking for that, if you want to be a sponsor on our show, you can reach out to us once Steve finds that link.
There
There
we
we go.
go. Okay, you can reach out to us at Taboo Talk with Ray and Steve at gmail.com. So just remember to like, share, uh, subscribe, etc. Comment on any of the things that we have. We value your comments and your opinions. So, Ray, any
Uh,
closing thoughts?
no, who's our guest next week? I know you've got somebody special lined up. If you
Oh
want to
man, this guy
do a little
he's
tease.
well, the tease is a new friend of mine. His name is Katie Sims, and he is a retired manager, just in industry, and he has gotten very active politically. He's in the North Texas area, and he is
No.
discovering, I know, he's discovering a lot of the woke garbage that's going on in our school systems with the transgender stuff, with the CRT stuff in Texas. Okay. Go figure. Okay. And he's going to be sharing some of his insights, and he's got contacts literally around the country, and he's making a difference. So you do not want to miss our broadcast next week. Katie Sims, you'll be thankful that you tuned in. So,
All right, guys.
right,
Well, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Thanks for watching
absolutely.
Taboo Talk with Ray and
Yeah, right.
Steve.